Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. So my theme today is a little bit obvious, but sometimes things need to be said. And today is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started with today's show right after the break. I know, seems obvious. However, most people are not living to their full destiny. Decisions. They are such a big part of our everyday lives. And no matter how many times you and I decide to go with the flow and let life work out, in the end, we all make decisions that will have a lasting impact. I like today's thought because, once again, it serves as a reminder that we all choose our own outcomes. I know that many will argue with me on that thought because they have bought into the belief that life hands them the deal that they have, and they are powerless to get out of the rut they choose to live in. As you can well imagine, Deb completely disagrees, and I am growing more unwavering in that thought. As I look around and see my friends and clients who wallow in their current misery, I have to say I am amazed at how they refuse to see the path that led them to this dead end years ago. Thinking about decisions, I've got two friends who are on a weight loss journey. One weighed close to 500 pounds, the other almost 400. One of them lost weight through sheer willpower and exercise, while the other achieved it through surgery. Now, both are doing great. I'm not sure what decision they wrestled with before they drew the line in the sand, so to speak, and chose to walk, run, and learn to eat differently. But they did. And today, they're very different people. I celebrate them for the hard work, sweat, and tears, and loss of pizza that brought them to their place of success. They decided to change their life. It wasn't easy. It was heroic. Watching them week after week, month after month, and in one case, year after year, take this new endeavor seriously shows all of us that with commitment to become the person you want to be, you have to make the change and you have to continue to work at it. Let me touch on a few reasons I think we would all do better in life if we were truthful with ourselves about the excuses and how to change the self-defeating chatter to something more in line with our personal goals and beliefs. When I think about the truth of today's quote, it leads me to a conclusion that admittedly hurts. Your excuse, problem, or whatever it is you want to tell me that is holding you back from becoming the person you decide to be is based most likely on the false assumption that you can imagine you can't have what you want, so you don't think about it or work towards it. Friend, that is a faulty assumption. Now, I'm not sure how to say it more clearly than to speak truth to you today and remind you that most of the hopes and dreams on your life list are achievable if you'll do your part. Hey, that's the hard part that most people think about then walk away from, so nothing ever happens. I'm never going to tell you it'll be easy. I am here to encourage you to persevere through the tears and pursue the goal that you say you want for your life. Hear me, no one can do it for you. No one is going to make it easy on you. I don't know why that is, but it's the truth, so let's admit it and move on. Frankly, I think there's a bit of crankiness in all of us that makes us reluctant to make it too easy for the next person. Because we know how from our own lives that persevering through challenges, well, that's what builds character, muscle, and strength for the future. So, understanding and believing that you can have what you say you want and setting aside the false assumption that you can't have what you wish should propel you to think about your goals, dreams, and desires, and friend, begin to work towards them hourly, daily, yearly. Okay, for some, the rest of your life. Because the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The other thing that I hear so many people bellyache about is the same old worn out excuse about spending more time on things that really matter in life, whether it be their friends, family, or football. Come on, you make time for things you choose that matter to you. The false assumption that there's not enough to go around, believing in the made-up scarcity mentality, you know it's untrue. And listen, it's laughable. Hear me, there's no such thing as being too busy. If you really want something, you'll make time for it. We all make time for what we desire. It's not the time that's the problem. Admit it. It's the will that is lacking. Well, I can admit that some things in life are not equal. The truth is we all get the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year to make time for what we truly want. You know the hundreds of reasons you need to buckle down and get to work instead of wasting time. The truth is, when all is said and done, you look back over your life, you will most likely be able to calculate the hours you choose to waste hanging out doing nothing because you never had a plan that you could have used doing the things you claim you wanted to do if you had a bit more willpower instead of being a time waster. Okay, I get it. I know you most likely have to work, and I understand that preparing meals, taking care of family, doing yard work, completing homework, and handling office tasks can be time-consuming. However, I also know that hours are wasted when you don't plan your week effectively. Listen, you're going to spend hours planning a week's vacation, pushing yourself and exhausting your family to do everything that's on, quote, the list. But then you return home and you fall back into the routine of doing the requirements of life without any further planning for the extra few hours that you might have that could be short and fun and inexpensive adventures for you and your family. A couple weeks ago, a hurricane hit my town, disrupting everything. Although not to a great extent, we were fortunate here. But what I saw in the disruption for many who had lost power was that neighbors pulled out their grills, brought food from the refrigerator, and had a street party. Families played cards by candlelight. Couples shared quiet time watching the fireworks of nature. The storm forced our hand to take the time we claimed we didn't have to create a moment that we've all been given. Remember this quote, "The bad news, time flies. The good news, you are the pilot." And friend, you always have been. So if you want to become the person you decide to be, now is the time to take charge of your life. And for some of you, take back charge of your life. My final thought's this. Listen, I find many people struggle with who they are and what they want to be, not because they don't know or don't have a dream, but because they haven't taken the time to figure out for themselves what they value in life. It's hard to become the person you dreamed of being if you didn't set your path years ago or still haven't given it much thought in the here and now. Listen, when we were kids, life was easier. Go to school, you graduate, hopefully, and then you get a job. You might be lucky enough to find someone to marry you. And then lo and behold, you have a family, a house, a car, a yard, an image to live up to, and a family dog and cat. So, where along the way did you get the chance to stop and think about your life values or who you want to be? Friends, you probably never did. It's funny. Back then, time seemed to move so slowly. Nothing happened quickly enough for us. Now time seems to fly. We can barely hold on in between one year and the next. I'm sure you've heard it occasionally when your friends and family get together, and in those few quiet moments of introspection, they admit that they struggle to find a purpose in life, and it bothers them. They come clean and admit that they never sat down and put pen to paper to chart a path or timeline for their life's direction because it seemed like, well, such a waste of time. And here we are years later, having accumulated the expected lot in life. And yet, so many have a deep longing for something different, something important, something of value that will be their remembrance when they leave this earth. So you may ask, hey, Deb, how do I fix it? Change the direction of the presupposed outcomes of my life. Here's my answer. You, my dear listener, you start by deciding what you value, and that will determine what legacy you leave. So starting today, you get to decide what stories, memories, and good deeds your friends and family will remember about you when they eulogize you on your final day. Starting today, you can change your daily plans to create the memories that will outlast you. Friends, starting today, you can unload the junk you've been carrying around literally and figuratively. Lighten your load. Use that extra money, extra time, and energy to create the moments those you love will remember. Hey, no one needs flowers when you're dead, because you're dead. And flowers are great, but that's for those who are left. No one needs your tears of regret when they're gone. No one cares about your apology when they can't hear you. So tell me, what are you waiting for? I'm not trying to be gloomy or sad or maybe even irritating for some of you, but the simple truth is this: the only person you are destined to become is a person you decide to be. So I have to say, before another year passes, my friend, consider the things you've always wanted to do. And now, take the time to make a plan and get working on your dreams while you still can. Starting now, figure out what you value in life and even who you value in life. And then do the necessary things to make those opportunities come to completion. The truth is written here today. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. I know, tough love, hard to hear, but what's so interesting to me is I have so many people that are, because we're getting older, they're kind of looking back over their life and they say the same thing. I didn't. I wish I had. Those were the days. And I want to say, you're not dead. So start. Even if you've started late, at least you've started. Because friend, your time is limited. And the memories that you create for others, well, they're going to last long after we're gone. All right, I'm Deb Sofield. You've been listening to, believe it or not, Encouragement for Your Rockstar Amazing Life. And I hope you join me next week because I do want to continue this journey of conversation about building a great life to have a fantastic future. And just remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you, and I care about you because I believe you can do big things. But friend, that is only going to happen when you make the decision to become who you're destined to be. And here's my promise: I will walk alongside you as we follow that dream together. Thanks for joining me today. Join me next week. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody.